Westside is a community that has many beliefs, genders, and sexualities. We're a community of diverse cultural, racial, and class backgrounds. Also a community of varied abilities and gifts. Some people here find inspiration in great books, others in the great outdoors, and others still just come for the great conversation. But whoever you may be, all are welcome in our inclusive congregation. So to newcomers and old friends both, together we say, welcome. At Westside also, we're excited to be raising the next generation of Unitarian Universalists, and we want them to know that they are an important part of our community. Several years ago, we chose to be radically inclusive and adopt a multi-generational worship, where our services include all family members, so welcome to all children and youth of all ages. There's a number of announcements included in your order of service today. Please take them home with you that you might need for reminders during the week or to share with others. I'd like to call your attention to some things that are coming up really soon. Next Saturday morning, we're having a pancake breakfast at 9:30. So please come and be a part of that fellowship time. We're going to have some great pancakes and things to go along with it. Also, then the following Saturday, the 14th, from 9 to noon, we're having a town hall here at Westside, and we want everyone to come and share their ideas for Westside on how we can grow our church and make things more and better and exciting. Also, the other thing is on September 22nd, we're going to be celebrating our Founders Day, Flame On Founders Day, the beginning of the 30th anniversary kickoff for Westside. The special choir here will be singing, and it's going to be a wonderful service, so you want to be sure to be here for that. Okay, for those of you joining online or visiting with us today, if you are not already on our mailing list, please sign up by clicking the link at the bottom of our westsideu.org website. And for those of you here in person, it's that time to please take a moment and silence all your devices. This morning, the reflection will be given by worship team member Darin Cote. He is going to be reading an outstanding reflection by Rev Kaaren Anderson, who I don't know if you remember, but we had a reflection by her shared on Memorial Day Sunday and was written by her. But this week, the reflection is called Sharing the Good News, Welcoming Others to Our Faith. And she currently serves as the interim minister for First Parish Brewster UU in Brewster, Massachusetts. And she recently served as the interim minister of the fellowship in Vero Beach, Florida. Reverend Kaaren received her Master of Divinity from Union Theological Seminary, Columbia University. She's also an artist and a published author of meditations and essays. She has served UU congregations throughout New York, Massachusetts, and Florida for about 25 years now. Darin has been a member at Westside since June of 2022, and in these last 2 years has found himself in many roles already. He's a member of the worship team, the Westside Band, a frequent song leader, and soloist, and he served on last spring's Flame On stewardship campaign. He's an avid performer in Off the Square Theater in Weatherford, and today he will share his talents with us as he presents Reverend Anderson's thoughts about promoting Unitarian Universalism. So now I invite you to take a nice deep breath. And from wherever you are, just settle into this sacred space that we create, and let us worship together as we listen to this morning's prelude, Takatina, by David Karp, performed by Dr. Yuki Kumamoto. And that beautiful, wonderful new piano. My exciting, wow. Our opening words today are, "You are welcome here," by Reverend Allison Palm. We gather this morning on the brink of a new congregational year. Some of us come fresh from summer adventures, from wind and waves and sunshine. Some of us come broken down from summer losses, from tears and pain and heartache. Some of us come renewed from summer rest, from peace and solitude and contemplation. Some of us come wearied from summer monotony, from work and heat and sameness. But whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever gifts and needs you bring, you are welcome here. So now, come, let us worship together. So, as do many Unitarian Universalist congregations, we begin our time together this morning with the lighting of our chalice. I invite Allison Isla Burke to come forward and light our chalice this morning. The chalice is a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, and it represents the Unitarian Universalist Association, or what we know as UUA. The flaming chalice symbolizes the heritage of our past, the warmth of community, and the light of hope within this church today.
Our chalice lighting words are welcome to share are by Anastasia Brioche. We light this chalice, are welcome to share, and our communion to declare. May this flame shine bright and afar to serve as our community's lodestar. All are welcome from everywhere. Our opening hymn is number 360, "Here We Have Gathered," in your gray hymnal. Please stand if you are able and so moved, and join our song leader, Sue Spell.
Hi, we're going to sing all three verses today, so I hope you brought your voices with you, okay? Thank you.
And please remain standing and join me in our affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to work for justice through action, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another. And you may be seated. So now, please come forward if you are young at heart or would like to have a close-up view of our Time for All Ages presented by our indefatigable Director of Religious Education, Nikki Kennedy. And afterwards, we'll sing the children back to their seats with the song number 16,
okay,
"'Tis a Gift to
it's
Be
okay,
Simple," in your gray hymnal.
Good morning. Good morning. I heard the calendar, it's okay. I heard today began a new month. Is that true? Pretty sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And I'm also pretty sure it's not going to be over 100 degrees today. Wow. There is lots of celebration with that. No, I'm really not. I mean, Mother Nature and I had this conversation, Riley, and Mother Nature told me the weather was going to be really good today and tomorrow, and I even put in a request for Saturday, December 21st, for when we have our winter solstice party, that it is cool but not icy and not rainy. And Mother Nature took my request, so that was pretty awesome. Today, I want to read a book to you. You know, the start of school year can be really tough sometimes. Getting into the swing of things, getting up early again, lots of new experiences, lots of new expectations. So this is one of my favorite books, and I want to share it with all of you today, young and young at heart, to remind you that truly I am enough. You are enough. And let me read it with you. So it's called You Are Enough by Grace Byers. Like the sun, I'm here to shine. Like the voice, I'm here to sing. Like the bird, I'm here to fly and soar high over everything. Like the trees, I'm here to grow. Like the mountains, I'm here to stand. Like time, I'm here to be and be everything I can. Like the champ, I'm here to fight. Like the heart, I'm here to love. Like a ladder, I'm here to climb, and like the air, to rise above. Like the wind, I'm here to push. Like I'm rope, I'm here to pull. Like the rain, I'm here to pour and drip and fall until I'm full. Like the moon, I'm here to dream. Like the student, I'm here to learn. Like the water, I'm here to swell. Like the fire, I'm here to burn. Like the winner, I'm here to win. And if I don't, get up again. I know that I may sometimes cry, but even then, I'm here to try. I'm not meant to be like you. You're not meant to be like me. Sometimes we will get along, and sometimes we'll disagree. I know that we don't look the same, our skin, our eyes, our hair, our frame. But that does not dictate our worth. We both have places here on earth. And in the end, we are right here to live of life, of love, not fear. To help each other when it's tough, to say together. Can y'all say it with me? I am enough. I hope that as we begin a new month, a new year together, next week we kick off our new year, I hope that each one of you know you matter, you are enough exactly like you are, and this is a place where you are all loved. I hope you have a most excellent week, my friends, and enjoy the cool temps.
Good morning. I'm also a member of the pastoral care team, and I'll be serving that role this morning by sharing the joys and concerns. In our community here at Westside, we make time each week to share pieces of our lives with one another, and we do this because in this community we feel like each person has value. Each person's experiences matter, and the pastoral care team, though, is here for you to give you a listening ear and reach out to you or someone you think we should know about that is hurting or needs a hospital or a home visit. Members of the team can be identified wearing a pastoral care team badge on Sundays, and we would love for you to submit your joys and concerns to us by completing one of these forms out at the welcome table, and you can do it that way, or you can just email us at pastoralcare@westsideu.org and contacting any member of the team individually. There are current 6 members of our team, and we're all here this morning: Jane Hardwick, Debbie Rake, John Fisher, Brenda McKeon, and Barbara Crotty. You want to raise your hands there to let us know they're right up in this area. Thank you. So we're going to share concerns with one another, knowing that sorrows come into each person's life, knowing that together we offer comfort. But today we have no concerns, I think. Oh, yes, we do have one. We do have one concern. And that's from Jana Pedman. Would you raise your hand? She's right here in the front. And she says that work has gone about as badly as possible in the last week. Good thoughts and hugs are welcome. And so we also share our joys with one another, knowing too that joy comes into all our lives, knowing that together our voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. And again, we would want you to raise your hand. This one comes from, is this from Diane Jones about the thing? Diane, she's in the back there. She said that Westsiders had fun yesterday at the lemonade stand. We visited with some neighbors, and we got a thank you from the Democratic precinct chair for Jana's voter registration, and lots of people waved back as they drove by. We think next year we need to organize another rummage sale to be more popular. Hold on, I forgot one other piece. And this one is from Glenda Hood. She says, my sister Ann had surgery on Tuesday in New Braunfels to remove a cancer from her lung. We are still waiting for the pathology results, but we are hopeful that the surgery removed all the cancer cells. She is at her home, starting the recovery process, and at this time, no further treatments are planned. Please hold her in your healing thoughts for her pain to subside and her healing to continue well. And that's from Glenda Hood. As we hold all the joys and concerns among us, both those spoken and unspoken, let us sing together number 391, Voice Still and Small, in the gray hymnal.
Voice still and small, deep inside all, I hear you call, singing.
Good morning, everyone. That was kind of limp. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Leo Ty Bennett, and I'm a member of the meditation groups here at Westside. I now invite you to relax your mind and body and join in a time of meditation. It will begin with an introduction before we move into a minute of silence. Our Tibetan prayer bowl will sound to signal the start of your own meditation, prayer, or reflection, and it will sound again at the end. Our introduction this morning is The Guest House by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be cleaning you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen.
Thank you, Leotai. So here at Westside, we practice our UU faith in a variety of ways, and one of those is by giving 100% of our gifts to our weekly collection, unless otherwise designated, to support organizations who carry out our transcendent values of compassion, justice, and equality. Westside's offering for the month of September goes to the Justice Network of Tarrant County. It began as a gathering in February of 2023 that united 20 organizations, most being faith-based groups. Its purpose, though, is to take action to reduce the structural barriers to a more just, fair, and equitable world for all persons in Tarrant County. Justice action teams are jail and criminal justice reform, LGBTQ plus equality, public education, reducing gun violence, and voting rights. The teams focus on rapid responses to critical issues, consistent responses to chronic policy-driven problems, education for our members and the public, and getting out the vote in 2024. Westside is a Justice Network member. Early actions of the Justice Network have been the jail team's focus on improving the dangerous conditions at the county jail. Jail team and Westside members read bills emphasizes the need to push for jail reform that alleviates overcrowding by ceasing arrests of individuals with mental health issues or minor offenses. Quoting Reed, she says, equally urgent is the need to stop jail deaths, which will require a change in the culture and training of jail staff from the sheriff on down. Reed, Westside members Linda Hanratty and Bob Van, and other Justice Network members have actively participated in commissioner court meetings for over a year. They meet on every other Tuesday at 10 a.m., I think. And they are pushing for reform and advocating for families affected by the inmates' deaths. Please thank these relentless justice seekers when you see them and ask them how you can support their effort. Let's also support the Justice Network, which is the catalyst for this work, by donating today. So please give online through our church's giving page or using the Vanco mobile app, or you can just send a check to the church at 901 Page Avenue. If you use the giving page, be sure to check Service Project and put in the name of this month's recipient. And if you're giving toward your stewardship pledge today, please use the envelopes at the bottom of the bowl as it's passed. And so now let us enjoy this musical offering, Concert Etude Opus 5 by Nikolai Rekhoff, performed by Dr. Yuki Kumamoto. So beautiful. Thank you so much. We thank you so much now for putting into practice the spiritual virtue of generosity. Our giving connects us to the wider web of our community. And thank you, too, for keeping your stewardship commitment current to keep our congregation's important work going. And so now I'm pleased to invite Darin Cote to the podium to share our reflection this morning.
Morning, everybody. So I was reminded, Carol reminded us all that Rev Kaaren, actually we listened to one of her reflections prior to this, I think over Memorial Day, and she's such a great thinker, and a writer, and now I'm reminded what a great speaker she is. So I'm going to be speaking for her, so I'm going to try to take the frame of a person a little different than myself, but I hope to do her reading, her reflections justice with you this morning. So this is Sharing the Good News on Welcoming Others to Our Faith by the Reverend Kaaren Anderson. In the past, I've done the following, which perhaps I shouldn't admit, but for today's purposes, it's important. Here it is. When I'd see them walking down my driveway, I'd hide. I'd crouch behind a chair in the living room and tell the kids to just be quiet, and then I'd wait. The doorbell rings. "I'll get it!" yells one of my kids. No, I'd say. Just be quiet and act like we're not at home. "What is your problem, Mom?" one of the kids will ask. Nothing, just shh. And then the bell rings again. I'd ignore it. What am I hiding from, you ask? The religious rite. Black pants, black dress shoes, white shirt, black tie, backpack, buddy system. The Mormons or Jehovah's Witnesses are at my door, and I'm crouched behind a chair, just hoping they will leave me alone. Does this sound pathetic, evasive, even a little juvenile? Any of you do it too? Okay. So those of you who don't hide, does the word evangelical, proselytizing, creep you out, make your skin crawl, give you the heebie-jeebies? Just a little bit? Yeah, I thought so. You see, for me, as I crouched behind that chair, two things usually went through my head. Number one, I was grateful for their offering, their outreach. I was, honestly. Cross my heart and hope to die. They are selling a product, a theological construct that indeed saves people's lives. I don't doubt that. On the whole, I'm incredibly grateful that there are religious traditions out there that fit personalities and ideologies different from my own. So there are less people out there wandering in the universe. Places that can definitely give people the answers to life, borders around their ambiguity, and offer a heaven for those struggling with how to keep going on. So on one level, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that knock on the door. They are serving a particular need, not my need. And my little caveat is that as long as their beliefs don't threaten or harm others, then yes, it's true that on a certain level, they do help a group of people. So that's the first reaction. Now, here's the second. What happens next as I crouch behind that chair is kind of a daydream. I daydream about what life would be like if I hadn't found this religious tradition, and how lost and isolated I would feel. Without this tradition, what would I do? I know I'd feel somewhat, if not seriously, disconnected from humanity. I know that I'd feel shunned on some level, because if you say you're a non-theist, or use the dreaded A word to folks, and that's atheist, for those of you who are wondering, then all of a sudden you're judged and thrown in the garbage dump of moral impropriety with murderers, rapists, and, well, other atheists. And if you question this, name me one politician who is an outed atheist. and I'll retract my statement. Yeah, I rest my case. So that said, without our tradition, I could try a liberal Christian church, which might be okay, but I'd have to do a lot of translating of languages, rituals, and theological constructs. Or I could go to my local Zen center, but my penchant for putting my values into action, my quest for social justice, would likely not make me a very good fit. And besides, I had children who grew up in the church, and that mattered to me. So where would I go? Then as I sit behind that chair, I think of others I know, and a lot I don't, and I wonder, well, where would they go? All those couples where one grew up Catholic and the other's Jewish, one grew up Muslim, the other's Hindu, one grew up Lutheran, and the other's unchurched and agnostic. What about them? Where do they go without this faith? Without knowing about this religious tradition, would they feel isolated, vulnerable, and disconnected too? Then I think about the LGBTQ community that can go to some Christian communities that preach hate the sin and love the sinner. And I wonder if they'd feel out of whack with their religious community and are longing to know about churches like ours. There are also Christian communities that proclaim that they are open to the LGBTQ community and have big rainbow flags on their website or in their sanctuary, so people know and they feel like, maybe these are my people. But then turns out they got issues with those who are trans or gender fluid or gender binary. Finally, there are those that aren't even part of a religious community, and those through subtle and not so subtle ways, they just sometimes want to climb back in the closet, and because they feel like second-class citizens and vulnerable to judgment, the retraction of laws and shame. Where do they go? I think about parents that want to raise their children with strong character and moral values, but question whether or not there's a church that will stand by them when they believe all of the world's religious traditions really have something to offer their child, not just the ones they're being taught. Where do they go if they don't know about us? And by the time I'm done squatting behind that chair, I stand up because I feel buoyant and incredibly grateful that our congregation offers a different kind of good news, and I am honored and proud of that tradition. Now, let me be clear. When I talk about all this smiling and pride over who we are, I'm not saying we're perfect. In fact, thanks to our movement's leaders, as well as a ton of brave UU leaders of color, we're realizing that all our UU congregations need to keep learning and keep reforming so we are truly welcoming and not harming of people of color. This work is important and it's a priority. And right alongside our decentering and anti-racism work, there is also the work of getting comfortable sharing who we are. And again, when it comes to that, as I said, I get giddy, but also sad. Because I realize how many people there are out there that are not feeling relief, not feeling gratitude or inspiration or belonging for only one reason, and that's that they don't know us. They don't even know about this faith tradition. In fact, I think they might be a little ticked off at us. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I think my colleague Nathan Darin gets at this best. He says, for years we've assumed that the people who need us would eventually find us without our help. We've sometimes let our reaction against religious conservatism keep us from doing or affirming anything that might lead people to think we're actually religious ourselves. And as a result, we've missed many, many opportunities to make a positive difference in the world and in people's lives. That last line there is a zinger. We've missed many, many opportunities to have a positive difference in the world and in people's lives. Is he on with that one? Because I guarantee you that there are other folks who are hiding behind their chairs or sofas in their living rooms when the religious right comes to call that don't have the same reaction that I do. They aren't grateful Unitarian Universalists, and they're not grateful Unitarian Universalism is around because they don't know about us, which, by the way, is not their fault. It's our fault. And if they knew any of you, folks they may love and trust, and you didn't tell them about a place that you could get them connected, help them with their isolation, feel welcome and accepted and feel home, perhaps for the first time in their lives, and you didn't tell them about it? Well, it's my guess they have every right to call each and every one of you and me selfish. That's right, selfish. Here's why, my friends, and just think about this. If you are willing to tell them about your local favorite pizza joint, but not about the place that gives your life spiritual grounding, meaning, connection, and inspiration, then they'd be right to be a little ticked off. Because all they want you to do is share, to simply let them know who we are out there. And when you tell them who we are out there, tell them there's a home for them. A fellowship like ours that takes seriously deeds over any creed, that is about acceptance and not exclusion, and open spirituality instead of enforced conformity. A place that cares about the living and living well in this life rather than worrying about the next. Tell them we're here. You see, when your friends they ask you to share your faith with them, they are asking you to share the good news, our good news. And make no mistake, we have a distinctive way of sharing. Ours is more of a, if you are this option, rather than a, you should believe this option. Ours, it's an invitation rather than an argument or a debate. Ours is an offering rather than an imposing, convincing, or damning if you don't. What do I mean? Well, let's take the standard you should option. This argument goes that you should like Italian food rather than Thai food. And let me tell you why Italian is better than Thai. In contrast, our offering of faith is more like this. If you like Thai food, man, and we've got some of the best Thai food available. In the starting point class that I offer newcomers, I often say, if you're feeling this deep sense of sinfulness or a need to be forgiven, then this place is probably not the best place for you. But if you're struggling with disconnection and you want a deeper connection to yourself, to others, and to life, then we have something to offer you. We're not just saying ours is better or worse than any other option. It's just different. It's focused on different needs. We are saying, though, if you're feeling life is shallow and thin, then hey, have we got the fellowship for you? If you're after connection, then come on over, and you'll find others striving to connect with their deepest self. life's gifts and serving needs greater than their own. We will indeed welcome you to this unique and beautiful human being that you are. Again, this is about sharing and options, not about arguing for the best idea. Another way to get at this, if you are, approach is brilliantly crafted by my colleague, Reverend Don Rollins, who says, if you think the real difference between straight folk and gay folk is that straight folks can publicly express their affections and identity without risking their job, their homes, and their safety, you might like Unitarian Universalism. If you experience a connection with nature and other human beings, if you think you're responsible for your own mind and your own body and spirit, if you know that you don't know every answer to every question, then you might like our churches. If you're not afraid of humanists, who aren't afraid of pagans, who aren't afraid of theists, who aren't afraid of atheists, who aren't afraid of Hindus, Jews, Muslims, Christians, or Buddhists, you might dig Unitarian Universalism. If you are fairly sure that face and body piercing do not themselves signal the end of Western civilization, if you actually like having your cage rattled every once in a while, well, you'd like my church. If you are irreverent enough to get at least a smirk from singer Tom Waits' observation that there ain't no devil, that's just God when he's drunk. If you're ashamed at the amount of press coverage given to a debate about the place of God in the Pledge of Allegiance in a nation where 1/6 of the children are hungry and where health care is considered non-essential, then, my friend, have I got the church for you? End quote. In the end, there's a hurting world out there, a world that puts barriers between us, a world that needs us, needs you, you wonderful people of good faith and good works and good hearts, to welcome in all you think would feel like they finally are at home. Imagine if you're at a coffee shop and there's a person reading some dystopian novel like 1984, Brave New World. You know, something on the myriad of lists that are now banned. And you walk up to them and you say, hey, this may sound strange, but, you know, we got a banned book club here at our church. We're reading The Handmaid's Tale. We gather together because we believe banning books is censoring ideas, thought, history, and freedom. We believe books should expand your imagination and heart, not close you off to diversity of thought and people. Anyway, you're welcome to join us if you're interested. And maybe this person takes you up on the offer. And then this stranger comes to the book club and they start coming to the fellowship, and in 3 months, this usually shy person finds themselves at a school board meeting, now grounded in a moral certitude to stand up in front of a bunch of people and remind them that we are only made better, kinder, more empathic with others when we can read about various lifestyles, places, and ideas that are different from our own. We expand our humanity, not shrink it. We don't want our children who are kinder, more compassionate, who don't bully one another, than those who are told some people belong and some people don't, which ultimately leads to bullying. A few more examples as I wrap up. Imagine you're at the gas station and you're filling up your car, and this car pulls up next to you with that discreet rainbow bumper sticker or a coexist bumper sticker, and you say, hey, I know you don't know me, but I have found it hard to feel like I belong. and I found a place with like-minded people in our community. If you feel that way too, you might really like Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. We don't really care what you believe. You could be an atheist or a theist or an agnostic or a Christian or even a Barnes and Nobleite. All of that is fine. What we really care about is whether your beliefs help heal spiritual disconnection within, among, and beyond. Yeah, the point is we're a very inclusive, loving, embracing community, and you might like us. And 2 weeks later, they walk in the front door of the fellowship, and you say hi and welcome them. And you learn from them that they have a partner of the same sex and a kid who's gender fluid. And they felt like it's hard to decide where to live anymore. That at times this tenor of fear and hate that is seeping into so many corners of our country makes it hard to feel safe and hard to feel seen. But after meeting you and coming to this place, they are reconsidering that worry, because what they needed was a group of people who loved them for who they are, not for who they wanted to be. Imagine you are at the doctor's office, and your physician tells you that they have a colleague in a southern state who just got notice from the state health department warning them that if they perform abortions or give the abortion pill to a patient, there will be consequences. Their friend's partner, who is a pharmacist, he got the same letter, and they're appalled by the audacity and the vagueness of the threat. Your physician is horrified by this and feels isolated and lonely and sad, and feels like the creeping reach of conservative ideology could affect you no matter where you live. And you get up the nerve to say to this physician, I don't know if you guys have a religious community, but if you don't, you might like the UU Fellowship. We believe that we are each responsible for our own mind, body, and spirit, and we all have moral agency over our own bodies. Maybe your doc shows up at our doors, and they meet some other parishioners, and they don't feel so isolated and alone. And after a while, because they started coming here, they now have a faith that they can find each other providers, along with their friends, that they can reach out to and connect with on this very issue that beforehand felt so isolating to go it alone. And so as we wrap up, let me say that maybe that gets to the heart of it. Maybe that's what I'm trying to get at the most today. You don't have to go it alone. In the end, friends, that's all UU evangelism is. It's the willingness to let others know that they don't have to go it alone and to welcome them in. It's not that we know better. It's that we know what it's like to have to hide your beliefs or yourself, because this often upside-down world and culture of ours is scary. It's not that we want to save your souls. It's that we know isolation suffocates all our souls. It's not that we want to argue or convince. It's that we feel grateful beyond words for what we found here, and out of gratitude for that great gift, we just want to share it. Here, inside these walls, we've all been told in a million different ways, you don't have to go it alone. And it has saved us. It's too important of a message to stay stuck inside this lovely building. So how about it, friends? Let's bust it loose. Let's let it leak. Let's give to the world this beautiful gift that we've been given, and offer a welcome like no other, with open hearts, open minds, and open arms. May it be so. Amen. let me tell you what we do next. Please rise if you're able and join together in singing our closing hymn today, which is number 287, Faith of the Larger Liberty, in your gray hymnal.
And we're going to do 2 verses, y'all. Thanks.
You got some great ideas on how to share UUism with others. I'm on the board of the North Texas UU Congregational Group. It's a group of our 13 UU churches in North Texas. And we are going to be coming to you with offering you a workshop sometime either this fall or maybe not till spring on creating your UU 1-minute elevator speech. And I think that's something we all need. And it would be a great help to all of us to be able to share that. So I'll be sharing that with you, more information as that gets ready. Our closing words today are Fitted for This Day by the Reverend Kimberly Quinn Johnson. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are not perfect, but we are perfectly fitted for this day. We are not without fault, but we can be honest to face our past as we chart a new future. And now please join me in our congregational closing. Go in peace, seeking justice. Go in peace, committed to equal rights and opportunities for all. Go in the peace that is created when together we build communities of true solidarity, deep compassion, and fierce, unrelenting love. Go in peace. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. Have a great week.